Coming to you live from the IYFA stream. It's Team Adventurous. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the adventure.
Yeah.
We have my chat with me. We got some of my favorite people in chat, some of the community VIPs, so that's good. Some people who, if they're around much longer, they're going to earn VIP. Not telling you who, you just got to have to stick around. That's the point. And, yeah, we're going to react to another Critical Drinker movie review because he's Scottish.
Hilarious.
So he's my brother from a distant mother. Let's go.
These days it seems like there's no depths that Disney won't sink to in their relentless pursuit of profit over artistic merit, and truly there's no better example of this creative abyss than their endless live-action remakes of their most popular animated movies. Basically the entertainment equivalent of the Pod People from Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, God.
Superficially they might resemble the friends and family you once trusted and cared for, and even emulate some of their mannerisms and behaviours, but behind the pleasing facade there's something very different. The vital spark, the individuality, the very soul that made them who they were has been brutally erased, leaving behind an empty, emotionless husk of what they once were. Which brings me neatly along to The Little Mermaid, a film
God damn. Talk about opening with a haymaker.
Right.
dogged by controversy and backlash, saddled with sky-high expectations, and of course, reimagined for modern audiences.
Not the modern audiences.
Modernity.
It's a film that everyone seems to have an opinion about, and whose success or failure could mark a sea change in the landscape of modern cinema. But can it really hope to keep its head above water, or will it be dashed on the rocks of failure?
Oh wow, even the critics hated it.
Oh, also.
Even the fucking critics hated it.
Also,
wow.
update.
The page shills hated it. Go ahead.
So, update. Okay. So, IMDb and several other sites are changing the ways that they allow people to review now because of how badly this was panned.
Explain.
So, they are saying that it was because of review bombing.
Review bombing isn't a thing. If a group of people hates a movie so much that they can motivate themselves and a group of other people to go and say that the movie sucked, the movie probably really fucking sucks.
Yep.
You cannot get a plurality of people to do something unless there's a genuine motive behind it. This is Psychology 101, folks. Review bombing isn't a fucking thing. Except when the woke cult decides to shit all over a real good movie.
Right, exactly. So,
Because they're a cult. And
They
cults
said-
are exempt from standard psychology for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yep. So they were like, due to, things such as this and the rings of power, we have decided that we are going to change the way that we allow reviews to happen.
The market is primed
That's
for
like,
us, Jeremy.
oh my.
The market is primed for us.
Yes.
We're in the forums. We're gonna have to have a.
Yes.
We're gonna have to have a section for
Yes.
this, and that'll be public, and that'll be public.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be like you want to see what people actually think about shit like this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, because that's even worse than review scrubbing.
The Little Mermaid is basically
Like,
a case
you can't
study in
even-
why live-action
Review, like,
We don't like these reviews. You're not gonna be allowed to say it anymore, cause you hurting our
feelings. Oh man, I almost want to get that animation of where like the little cartoons they do the crying, but they're
Yes.
like water sprinklers.
Yes. I wish right there we had a show producer to just play the clip of that black dude on that reality TV show going,
my gosh.
"Ah!" I fucking love that meme.
Remakes of beloved animated movies are a fucking terrible idea. It's slow-paced, bloated with nearly an hour of unnecessary padding, filled with dogshit CGI that looks like it was rendered on a PlayStation 3, populated with veteran actors that look embarrassed just to be in it, or bad actors that look excited to be in anything, a soundtrack that's an uncomfortable mix of tired rehashes of classic songs and gratingly awful new ones, and of course awkward reworking of iconic moments to make sure the film adheres to...
Miranda is a great songwriter.
Tell another. And don't forget to auto-tune his crying. You gotta auto-tune the crying.
You have to.
You gotta do it.
The message. In short, The Little Mermaid is just another shitty, soulless, pointless Disney remake whose only real accomplishment will probably be an upsurge in support for the original animated movie. Anyway, what the hell? Give me a ship and 50 stout men because we're sailing into dark waters with this one. Now, normally this is where I give you...
Don't you mean utterly cursed?
Right.
You mispronounced utterly fucking cursed. But it's okay. You're probably drunk when you're doing this. I totally get it, drinker.
We understand.
I would need whiskey to get through this too. Or something stronger.
Man.
Do a detailed plot breakdown, but that would be kind of a waste of time in this case, because if you've seen the 1989 animated movie, then you've basically seen this one too. It's pretty much a beat-for-beat remake of it. Halle Bailey plays Ariel, the
But worse.
wayward teenage daughter of King Triton, who's fascinated by the world above the waves and longs to explore it. And when Eric, the young prince of an island kingdom, almost drowns in a shipwreck, she defies her father's warnings and saves his life. Her desire to be part of Eric's world eventually brings her to the sea witch Ursula, who offers to turn her into a human being in exchange for her voice. Many wacky shenanigans ensue, and Ursula eventually betrays Ariel and turns into a giant sea monster that has to be defeated so that Ariel and Eric can live happily ever after. So if it's the same exact story as before, then what's the problem, you might ask? Well, the first issue has got to be the length. The 89 version clocked in at just 83 minutes, without ever feeling rushed or jarring, which is fucking impressive considering how much it manages to cram in plot-wise. This one, on the other hand...
And you know, back in the day, Disney did that with a few of its animated classics. A Goofy movie is another perfect example of that. I actually think that's under 80 minutes. I can't remember for sure. Someone can fact check me on that in chat if they want. But Goofy movie is incredibly short by modern movie standards. And in my opinion, it's maybe one of the best Disney classic. It's so underrated. It's such a good movie with such a wholesome message and music that legitimately fucking slaps. Have you heard the... Oh, God. What is it? It's the opening song with Max. It's... Stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. Tonight is the only one you'll see. Gotta stand out till you notice me. It's a fucking banger, bro.
And drags on for 135 minutes. That's almost an hour more, and Jesus Christ, you really start to feel that extra length after a while. Just like Tatiana. Like I say, it's not as if the script adds anything substantial to justify the extra runtime either. Everything's just slower and clunkier than it...
Am I good or am I good? 76 minutes. Yes. Yeah. Random useless trivia. Yeah.
Was before. Conversations drag on longer than they need to, transitions and action scenes are flaccid and bloated, and minor characters that are supposed to be there for comic relief get way too much screen time. Even the dialogue feels like it was written with absolutely no understanding of what happened in the previous scene. Like at one point Ariel retreats into her grotto after an argument with her father, and when Sebastian tracks her down there, she literally asks him, "How did you find me?" "Oh, I don't know, Ariel. Maybe it's because you come here every fucking day of your life. You don't exactly have to be Hercule Poirot to work this one out." All of this stuff adds up to a sense of crushing and frustrating inertia. I was bored out of my arse and scrolling through my phone after the first 30 minutes, and that was with a bottle of fine whiskey to keep me amused too. God only knows how little kids raised on TikTok videos and high
It is
fructose...
Critical Drinker.
Yes.
Welcome in, Airshot. Good to see you, man.
cornster
Welcome
if
back
we're
to the
supposed to
Adventurous.
sit in a crowded movie theater and watch this shit. The second issue is the visuals. There's no easy way of saying this. This movie looks like dog shit. I've coughed up things that are more aesthetically pleasing than this movie. The vibrant and colourful underwater world of the animated film has become a dark, dreary, badly rendered hellscape here, and the occasional flashes of garish colour only serve to emphasise how fucking gloomy and depressing the rest of it is. The CGI is also some of the worst I've seen in any mainstream movie ever. Well, almost.
And in case anyone here doesn't know, or in case you somehow managed to forget, they had to do even more CGI work because they hired an actress who couldn't fucking swim to play the Little Mermaid.
Right.
Diversity, though.
All the mermaids move with this weird, jerky, unnatural motion. The fluidity and the graceful elegance of the animated film is nothing but a distant memory here. This looks exactly like what it is. A bunch of actors in mocap suits getting pulled around a giant green room. How did this cost $200 million? It's the same deal with the animal characters. Remember Flounder, Sebastian and Scuttle from the '89 movie? Remember how expressive and charming they were because the animators didn't have to worry about rendering photorealistic animals with human behaviour? Well, forget about that because now we've got Sebastian who looks just like an actual crab, or Flounder who's literally a fish that talks. And as for Scuttle, played by Aquafina...
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Tell me, who exactly thought it would be a good idea to cast an actress with the voice of a 70-year-old chain smoker in a role like this? Listening to her sing is the audio equivalent of having my ears raped by a dildo made out of broken glass.
Wow.
Just haymaker after haymaker after motherfucking haymaker.
Gosh.
No punches were pulled that day.
Nope.
Not a single
Not a
one.
single one.
I sang in the swamp and I was like, wham, chicka, wham, wham, chicka, wham.
The third issue is the performances. Let's be honest, Halle Bailey was always going to be a controversial choice for Ariel, and I can't shake the feeling it was done to send a message or tick a box rather than make a faithful adaptation of the source material, but...
Yep.
No shit!
Yeah. Wow.
Why?
Where could you possibly
Why
have
couldn't
gotten
have
that
guessed?
idea?
Are you sure? But, Crit Drinker, I'm gonna need some evidence
Gonna
or
need
receipts for
Yeah.
that.
Do you have a peer-reviewed
That's
study?
a bold claim. I'm gonna need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a meta-analysis
Right.
study.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a tick a diversity box in a modern Disney flick. No. Of fucking course she was.
Oh my gosh. We should have a thing with a string of pearls hanging here so we can just put them on and clutch them whenever we need to.
Whatever. I mean, you can tell that she's a professional singer because she nails all the musical numbers flawlessly, but as for her acting skills... well, she seems happy to be there at least. Prince Eric fits neatly into the mold of soft, meek, placid, ineffectual, and easily dominated modern Disney leading men, carefully constructed so as not to offend or threaten anyone in a modern audience. He's written...
Oh no, the testosterone.
Gosh. It's like, don't you know that's poisonous to your mind?
Someone in real life actually said that to her, just so that's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
without an ounce of agency, charisma, or self-confidence, and portrayed exactly the same way by an actor with all the magnetism and screen presence of Warwick Davis in the Willow TV show. Can't have those pesky men getting ideas above their stations, eh? Also, I've got to say that the unspecified island kingdom he belongs to is the kind of place that could only possibly spring from the mind of a modern Hollywood writer. Like, the general landscape and climate seem to suggest a vaguely Caribbean location, but most of the people who actually live there are white. white. The clothing, culture, and general technology levels are roughly in line with 18th century Europe, but the Queen of the Island and Eric's mother is black, and the Prime Minister is Pakistani. What the fuck even is this place? I love how no matter what historical era or location it's meant to be set in, every Disney movie seems to be more diverse than downtown Los Angeles. It's also nice to know that the film carefully obeys the golden rule of modern...
So great, guys. It's great. You know, just like them portraying Anne Boleyn as black. Because, you know, Henry VIII's wife was black. Because that was a thing that happened.
That's just as dumb as Cleopatra being black. It's like, are you fucking... She was literally Greek.
Right.
Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. You literally have historical descriptions of her being
Eric looks like Bobby Boucher from The Water Boy, but without any of the comical characteristics. Okay. No. But I see, like, there's a superficial comparison to be made there.
Wow.
But no.
right, and that no woman can ever possibly get rescued by a man. Like, remember in the finale of the 89 movie how Prince Eric bravely took control of the damaged ship and steered the prow right into Ursula's chest, just as she was about to kill Ariel, saving her life just like she saved his earlier? Well, those outdated ideas of heroic self-sacrifice have got no place in modern Disney movies, where women are all portrayed as unstoppable, all-conquering badasses, and men just need to step aside and make way for them. So naturally, Ariel takes control of the ship and saves the day instead, despite having absolutely no experience or understanding of sailing ships or how they function.
Well, that's definitely shite.
None of that matters though, because this strong, independent young woman doesn't need some clumsy man to help her. She can jolly well save herself, damn it. You know, I would genuinely love to know what these people think romance is supposed to look like in current year, because movies like this are actively killing the very concept of it. Weirdly, the best aspect...
darling. The majority of these people that are working on this don't know what romance looks like because they've, well, a man won't touch them.
Or...
Their pussies sound like...
Well, that's because too many men have touched them. It's not that a man won't touch them, it's that a man won't keep them. And by the way, for the guys who write and work on these things, their buttholes sound like...
of this film for me was Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, who's just as devious, manipulative, and delightfully malicious as she was in the original. She's evil and she fucking loves it. And when Melissa McCarthy is the best thing in your movie, you know you've got fucking problems.
Yes.
All of these issues add up to a depressingly pointless,
and
cynical...
of course, you know, they changed the lyrics to the song to make it less offensive because, you know, the villain can't even lie or say things that are, you know, offensive because we can't have people getting the wrong idea. And they want to get all over, you know, people from Zondervan and other places for making wholesome movies that are too on the nose about the message and can't portray people for real.
Yeah. It's like, woke Hollywood.
It's like, wow.
You have no business telling anyone their movie is too on the nose. Not only is your propaganda on the nose, it's fucking positively skull-crushing the way you hit people over the head with it. We get it. Your dick is tiny, dude. You don't have to keep driving by to tell us.
Right.
This big. We get it. And your dad didn't love you. We know.
Your dad doesn't live here anymore. He can't hear you.
soulless kind of movie that's really just a longer, less colourful, and less entertaining.
In case you, the audience, couldn't hear, an asshole with a loud muffler drove by, and they do that a bunch in my neighborhood, late at night specifically.
Yep.
Just so you have the context in case you couldn't hear.
rehash of the very thing it's trying so hard to milk for nostalgia. A film that fails to be either good or original, because the things it does that are halfway good aren't original, and the rare moments of originality aren't good. And despite all the controversies and debates around race and representation, The Little Mermaid's biggest problem is that, well, it's just a bit shit. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
Just a bit.
Go away
just
now.
A bit?
A bit shit.
Just a bit shit?
I like how at the end there he was like, you know what? I've been throwing haymaker after haymaker. Their skull is basically red goo on the mat. I'm just gonna stand up and spit on them as I walk away.
Yep.
I don't need to throw out a big one for the end. I can just, my work is done.
Right,
I'm just gonna stand up and walk away.
It's like I started out with all the haymakers. Just gonna...
They're dead on the mat.
Yeah.
Good game, bitch.
Right. Oh.
This has been Team Adventurous. Welcome to the adventure.
Welcome to the adventure.
Cheers. You should come check us out on Twitch. Till next time.